Wichita, Kansas. And tonight, the Shockers of Wichita State hosting the 19th ranked Blue Jays of Creighton. Hi again, everyone. I'm Dave Armstrong, along with former coach and NBA scout David Kaplan. David, two teams at the top of the Missouri Valley. Creighton's already lost once this year. They don't want to make it 0-2 to start their Valley season. But here's Wichita State. They're playing their best basketball right now. What gives tonight? Well, they're two contrasting teams. You look at Creighton, they've got a great scorer in McDermott. They think they can outscore you. You look at Wichita, it's a team that really has great balance, and man, can they guard. Talk about balance. In our one-on-one, it's tough to come up with one guy for the Shockers because they have 5 guys in double figures. Right, you've got Garrett Stutz, 11 points a game. He can really go to the glass, and he's very, very strong around the rim. Doug McDermott, one of the best players in all of college basketball. Look at that number from the three-point strike, 56%. You're in for a treat tonight. Oh boy, aren't you ever. Let's take a look at the lineup. So joining McDermott in that starting 5 for the Blue Jays, Antoine Young is in there, along with Grant Gibbs, Jahens Maniga, and Gregory Echenike. Now for the Shockers, it's Ragland at the point. It's Teray Murray, Carl Hall, David Kiles, and of course we talked about Garrett Stutz, the big 7-footer out of Kansas City. And the opening tip goes to the guys in blue, the Blue Jays of Creighton. There are officials tonight, a great crew, a veteran crew, and Tom Eade, Steve Olson, and Mark Whitehead. Creighton patient on offense so far. Real important that they handle the bedlam that this crowd is right now. Have to get everyone a touch, get them acclimated. Shot clock down to 8. Not a good look yet for the Blue Jays, and a long 3 that goes. Oh, wow. Antoine Young. You talk about ice water on the crowd. That gets Creighton their legs under them, and now they have a chance to get down and try and play some defense. So here come the Shockers on offense for the first time. Ragland gives it up. This is Kiles. Ragland looks inside. Ragland tries a 3, no, and the rebound comes down to Maniga. Wichita State, a phenomenal club on the boards. That has been a hallmark of Greg Marshall. Right now, it's Carl Hall who's got the defensive assignment. They go inside to Echenike, and he is fouled on the play. 9-0 in his career when he scores 15 or more. So when they can get Echenike some good touches inside, he's very, very important to their half-court attack. Echenike, a junior from Rutgers, by way of Venezuela. He played on the national team this past summer. And a good start for the Blue Jays. It's 4-0 Creighton. He's playing in pink shoes because last year for the Coaches versus Cancer game, all the players on Creighton wore pink shoes. He said, they're more comfortable. I like these better. It's a statement, and he wears them in support of cancer research. And when you're that big, who's going to make fun of you? Nobody. So here's Ragland. The Shockers trying to get on the board. Kyle's looking inside, nothing doing. Stutz, he won't shoot from out there. He might. He's only hit 2 of 8, though, this year from three-point land. Solid defensive set so far out of Creighton. Really doing a nice job on the low block. Little jumper from the free throw line. That's no good. Boy, look at the quick release by McDermott. But the rebound comes to Stutz. That's what he wants back. When they get him a touch that close, he usually converts. Whistle and a foul. Count it. Does a real nice job, Dave, when he puts the ball on the deck. Watch how he shields the ball to prevent it from being stripped. He's going to come down the side of the lane. He's got Echenike right on his side. He shields it, then gets it up on the window, hooping the harm. The big fella taking it all the way to the rack from the top of the key. You look what Stutz did against Bradley with those 14 points and 10 rebounds. His 3rd double-double of the year. Little full court pressure now. Manigault gives it up, and now Young. Shockers back off. Trying to get it inside. Echenike lucky to get it back. Up over Stutz. He had to change his shot. Here comes Kyles on the break. Kind of fumbled the ball a little bit. He'll take the three anyway. Oh, that was halfway down and back out again.
Crowd ready to erupt on that shot.
Young. Not shy, is he? Echenike right up over Stutz.
Nice job on the spin, protect the ball. Didn't get enough dig down from the guard to help out, and he got the ball up and scored.
Little high-low action. Now we've got a tie-up. The possession arrow will keep it with the Shockers.
Well, the intensity in this building is outstanding. There's Greg McDermott.
His second year with the Blue Jays, coming by way of Iowa State University. You can just tell, and we were talking to him earlier today, David, he is so comfortable to be in Omaha.
He loves being at Creighton. He loves the athletic director, Bruce Rasmussen. He said we have a great relationship. It's so important when you work for someone how you feel about him. It really has been great for this team.
Kyles. Well, he misses again. He was wide open. That was because Manigault fell down. McDermott's only had one touch in this game so far. We're almost 4 minutes in. Is Wichita State doing a good job on him? Look at that, though. He got good positioning as they swing the ball.
Really great job, though, by Doug McDermott after the initial pass to come along the baseline and then flash up to that low post and ask for the basketball.
And it's the biggest lead of the night so far for the Blue Jays. And stepping on the end line, Ragland.
What is so interesting to watch about Doug McDermott is how quick his release is. When he runs along the baseline and then, boom, makes that cut to the low block, he catches it before a defender can react. The ball's on the window and gone.
McDermott again. Boy, does he get rid of that ball in a hurry. It goes off the hands, though, of Echenike, and it'll be the Shockers' ball, but Greg McDermott has to like the way his team has started. We'll give you some resolutions for the new year when we return to Wichita in a moment. ESPNU's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by State Farm for auto, home, life, and banking. Get to a better state. And the United States Marine Corps, the few, the proud, the Marines. Sellout crowd here at Charles Koch Arena in Wichita, Kansas. Creighton off to a pretty good start, aren't they? 9-3 our score, and the Wichita State Shockers just 1 of 5 so far from the field. All right, how about some resolutions for these teams?
Well, if you take a look for both of these clubs, we'll start with Creighton. They have to refocus for conference play. Had a really good run in the non-conference, but then they stubbed their toe against Missouri State, and they've got to get improved play from Echenike, and he has come to play tonight.
Boy, he certainly has 4 points already. How about for the Shockers?
Build off a blowout win over Bradley. You're stepping up in class now and take control of the Valley quickly. You win tonight, you really have gotten off to a tremendous conference start.
No question. You really made a statement in the Valley. Stutz trying to drive in, and that one hit the bottom of the backboard. They call it a tie-up, a jump ball situation, and this time the arrow points for the Blue Jays.
Well, you look at rebounding early, 5-2 Creighton. You realize that Greg Marshall, since he came to Wichita, his clubs have out-rebounded the opponent 118 out of 148 times. That is an unbelievable rebounding advantage.
It really is. I'm sure that's a point of emphasis for Greg McDermott then in the Creighton Blue Jays. And a travel. Second turnover for Creighton. Well, don't forget, ESPNU, another full day of college basketball tomorrow. A triple header, in fact. First at 1 Eastern, Villanova visits Darius Johnson-Odom and Marquette. Then at 3, Harrison Barnes, a former teammate of Doug McDermott. And the Tar Heels take on Monmouth. And then Penn meets the Duke Blue Devils. Oh, good give and go. And Stutz has got the jam.
No backside help. Stutz catches it, and he has his eye on the prize and finishes with authority.
Stutz with all 5 points for the Shockers. Boy, look at that positioning. Echenike almost had a foot inside.
Wichita State does not double the low post. They may think about it. They have a call called monster where they run a second big in there. If Echenike keeps playing this well.
Fighting for the rebound. It goes out of bounds. It'll stay with the Shockers.
Watch the give and go. Outstanding here. There's your pick. There's your roll. McDermott doesn't rotate over. Bam! It leads to a dunk.
Well, when you slip those screens like that and someone's not there from the weak side, it makes an easy play for the 7-footer. Now he's on the bench. Where does the scoring come for the Shockers? Because he has all 5 of their points.
Someone has to step up because he is not a primetime scorer anyway, averaging 11 a game. Got to get some action from the guards going.
Another turnover. Here comes Chapman. Both teams going to their bench right now. McDermott's got it. Swings it outside. Three-pointer rings home for Rogge.
Well, Ethan Rogge had his feet set. You watch him shoot. Feet are set. Elbows over the toes. The elbow in, and bam, he nails it.
Off the bench, he's taken more threes than anybody on this team, and he's hit 43%. Whistle and a foul.
Watch the three from Rogge because the pass is going to come from McDermott. Nearly a steal. Now McDermott always looking. There's the pass, catch, gone. Before the defender can fly out and get a hand up, it's gone.
But you can see when McDermott gets the ball, David, there are 3 Shockers surrounding him, and he's wise enough to find the open man.
Excellent court vision. You're right. They have definitely made a point of emphasis in the Wichita State defensive game plan. We're going to find where Doug McDermott is at all times.
Ben Smith, who comes off the bench, Mr. Sixth Man. In fact, he averages double figures, 10.7 per game. 5 average double figures for the Shockers, and not only that, but Carl Hall is close with 9.4 per game.
But the one constant theme for Wichita State, if you play for Greg Marshall, you guard. They are as good a defensive team as you will find.
But only 1 of 3 from the line. Didn't take advantage of that opportunity. McDermott doubled. Gives it up. It was tipped away, though. And tipped out of bounds by Kiles.
Crowd doesn't like it. Real good recognition from offense to defense by the Creighton defenders to get back down the court.
Greg Marshall pleading his case with the officials. He thought that went off Creighton. Here's Austin Chapman, a freshman. They call him Dash, from the Colony in Texas, suburb of Houston. Wide open jumper, doesn't get it to go. Tipped out of bounds. This time it will belong to the Shockers off of Rogge.
Crowd wants a foul call. Officials are going to let them play. You see a lot of contact there. Really, the ball was knocked off the Wichita State player. It looked to be from our angle.
Sluggish start offensively for the Shockers in this game. Just 2 of 8 from the field. Great positioning, and this time it will be a foul on Rogge. He reached in. That'll send Hall to the line to shoot a pair.
His first 13 foul.
We talked about what Greg Marshall demands. If you think of his teams, you think of some balance and you think of really intense defense. When I watch Greg McDermott's teams, and I've known him for a long, long time, You better take care of the basketball. You better be unselfish, and you better take really good shots. You look at some of the numbers about the Blue Jays. 20.6 assists per game. That's #1 in all of college basketball. 44.6% from 3. Second in all of college basketball. 4th in the country in assists to turnovers. That's a team that takes care of the ball.
Three-pointer, Rogge, no. All by his lonesome for the rebound is Cotton. Williams swings it around. Murray pulls up for a jumper. That's off the heel, no good. And Creighton's got the rebound.
Wichita State been a little strong with their shots. Everything seems to be getting back iron right now.
The Blue Jays, to go back to your point, David, they have out-rebounded the Shockers 9-5. Three-pointer. Way off the mark. An air ball from the corner by Williams.
You look at the numbers, we were just talking about that. #1 in assists per game. That is an unselfish team. They make threes, points per game. So it's a team that looks to get out and score, but look at their field goal percentage, almost 52, which means they take good shots. That's the mark of a well-coached basketball team.
Absolutely. Right now, Doug McDermott sitting on the bench right now. They came with a 7-point lead. Wow, what a block by Hall. Three-pointer off target. Josh Jones couldn't get it to go. Echenike with the rebound. One and done again for the Woo-Shots.
With McDermott on the bench right now after a couple of turnovers, Echenike really needs to play big.
Well, you see Echenike really trying to get position down low, and they call a foul on Hall. McDermott looks up at that scoreboard. He's got to love what he's seen so far. Well, Wichita State's had a tough time scoring against a tough Blue Jay defense. 14-7 our score. With David Kaplan, I'm Dave Armstrong. David, this is a good sign for the Blue Jays. They have a 7-point lead, and yet their star, McDermott, has only 2 points in this game.
Right, and what I liked with Greg McDermott is he took Doug out and said, 3 turnovers, I can't have it. They're doubling the post or running an extra defender at him out on the floor, and he had 1 tipped and 2 stolen from him. He's going to take a seat for a while. Echenike has to play big inside.
And he has. He's getting great position inside right now for the Blue Jays.
He is. He's so big, he's able to get a steal, and then nobody can get around, and when you don't double him, makes it very easy for him to get to the rim.
How does Wichita State get some more offense going?
I think they've got to attack the rim and try and get some easier shots. They've settled for some perimeter jumpers a little early in the possession. They play into the crowd right now. They need to settle down and run their offense and attack the basket.
This is a team that's really been on fire, Wichita State. They're 2 for 11 in this game. Consider this. In their last 3 games, they have won by an average of 46 points.
Yeah, it's unbelievable when you look at their schedule and you look at some of the scores and you think, wow. And you watch them play and you realize how good this team is. Plus, when they score big, they also are guarding you at the other end. They help Bradley to the 2nd lowest field goal percentage in the history of the Bradley program. 25.5% from the floor. So when you can do that and score effectively with balance, you're tough to beat.
They blew out the Braves 90-51 in that game. Creighton with the ball. Echenike gets good position again, trying to go up over Stutz, and a whistle and a foul going for the rebound. Grant Gibbs whistled for that infraction.
Gibbs, a transfer out of Gonzaga, which is a tremendous program. Before he ever played a game, they said, you're the captain of the team. They said, it's Greg McDermott said, that's his locker room. He is the guy. So
he's really a glue guy, isn't he? He loves to pass the ball.
Very much a glue guy, but also a great leader.
Inside they go to Hall. Quickly double team.
Doubling with a 2nd big, running Echenike over there.
Now Stutz trying to back in. Boy, he had a good look. McDermott cleans the glass.
McDermott got his message from the coach and now back in the game.
And then Echenike has his pocket picked. In transition, a jumper, no.
Echenike has lost some weight since last season, moving much, much better both ends.
All of a sudden, the tempo picking up, and that probably favors Creighton more, doesn't it?
No question, because they can score so effectively. Plus, you know Doug McDermott, after getting a talking to on the bench, he's looking to really step his game up now in terms of scoring.
From us to you, Happy New Year. What a great way to close out the year here in Wichita, Kansas at Charles Koch Arena with David Kaplan. I'm Dave Armstrong. Glad to have you courtside with us here tonight.
Two really good basketball teams. What an environment.
McDermott. He didn't have the shot, so he passed it back out. Resets inside. That would have counted had it gone. He'll go to the line.
They call that refeeding the post. The ball went into Doug McDermott. He tried to make a move, didn't have anything. Patient, kick it back out, and boom, go right back inside. The defense relaxes. The ball gets back to the post, creates the foul situation.
The foul on Ben Smith is first. McDermott's been off target on his free throws. He missed a few the other night against Missouri State in a 12-point loss.
People ask, what is it like to coach your son? Greg McDermott said, well, I saw his cell phone ringing one day. It was Greg's number. He was calling him, and the phone was next to him. It says Coach Mac. It doesn't say Dad. So he treats him as a player. He looks at him as his coach when they're on the court.
Yeah, he said, you know, Doug made the request. He said, Dad, I'll play for you, but you're not my dad. You're my coach. And he said it's been a relationship that has worked really well for both parties.
I said to Greg today, well, what happens if you get on the team and you have players who are a little unhappy in the locker room as you get a real nice interior pass to lead to a basket? And he said, Doug probably agrees with him at times.
Greg told us from the time Doug was just a little guy, he always had a ball in his hand. And how about that on the high-low? What a feed from McDermott into Echenike.
Great feed and outstanding catch.
Poked away. Scramble for the ball, a tie-up. And the Shockers will get it back on the arrow.
Watch this pass. Really nice seal. Used his arm, got a little separation. Stutz got caught on the high side. There's the toss. And because Echenike has lost weight and gotten better condition, he can catch it and finish at the rim.
What's the defense there? You just don't get lost there, or does the weak side help need to come over?
You got to get weak side help, but you also have to make sure you always have contact with the offensive man, because if you have some separation, you get beat at the rim.
And McDermott makes such snap decisions, too.
His recognition to be able to shoot and pass is so good and so quick.
Another miss for Wichita State. And now we got a real tussle. Woo! Well, Monday, ESPNU, a full day of college football starts at 10 Eastern. College Game Day built by the Home Depot, live from the Rose Bowl, presented by Vizio. Then at 11 Eastern, get updates from all the day's bowl games on college football whip around. At noon, Case Keenum and the Houston Cougars meet Penn State in the Ticket City Bowl. College football live on the U Monday. Three-pointer goes. Boy, did the Shockers need that.
Big time. Kyle's got a good look. David Kyle's averaging 10.5 a game. That was a catch and go. A design play right off the inbounds.
And that got the crowd back into it. Backdoor play. And that'll be a foul on Stutz.
Nice interior pass, but really good job. The other end, watch the basket. There's the nice high screen. Doesn't have to get the man, but he causes enough traffic to get the opening for the pass and the shot. Real good job. Screens don't always have to be picking the guy off. Just force him to go a little higher than he wants to.
Now with 9:17 to go, you see Stutz walking over to the bench. He's got to come out of this game because he has 2 fouls. So a big development for Wichita State. Already down 6, and Stutz, their big fella's on the bench.
That is textbook coaching, where you take a guy out at this juncture with 2 fouls. You do not want one of your key cogs with 3 at the break.
Blue Jays have done a good job of keeping the Shockers at arm's length this entire game.
I've been mostly impressed by Creighton's defense. I knew they were a good offense. They've come to guard tonight.
Got a hand on that one. They swing it around to Smith. No. From the weak side, the defensive pressure. And a foul on Artino. Oh!
Technical foul, and I think it's going to be on an assistant coach. That will not make Greg McDermott happy at all. I think that's going to be on an assistant.
They're calling it on the bench of the Blue Jays. And let's take another look. Right here is the foul call. Now watch the bench. Boy, you saw a lot of the players, the subs, they were waving their arms. Ragland can't take advantage, though.
Well, the assistant coach who is going to be charged with the tee, he feels horrible.
But was it the assistant coach or was it the players in their motion?
I believe it was the assistant coach. Having sat over there and gotten a talking to on my own from an official, I believe it was one of the assistants. It's the emotion. You're caught up in the game. You're trying so hard. You pour your heart and soul every day into try and make your team as good as it can be. It happens.
Well, the Shockers now 5 of 9 from the line. You can see Greg McDermott over talking with Tom Eads, trying to reason with him and saying, you know, not such a quick, trigger on the tee.
Correct.
Look, our guys are emotional. It's an emotional atmosphere here at Wichita State. Murray buries those 2 free throws. And Wichita State inching closer. They trailed by 9 once upon a time, and now a trap. McDermott has the ball. And quickly here comes Young. The Blue Jays escape the trap. And a bump here by Ragland.
Good call. He got him with the body as he made the move. They missed Doug McDermott on the left wing. As the dribble was made, McDermott spotted up at the three-point stripe, but the decision had been made to attack the rim, and he did not see McDermott wide open.
First foul on Ragland. That's the 5th team foul on the Shockers this half. And you can see Wichita State already in the bonus. 17 fouls on Creighton. Antoine Young, 69% free throw shooter. And he gets the second one to go. A couple of substitutions now for the Blue Jays, as Doug McDermott will get another breather. Ethan Rogge will take his place. Rogge from Eden Prairie, Minnesota. They say he's overall the best shooter on this Blue Jay team.
Paul really working hard to get a seal inside.
Boy, was he ever. He was determined.
Outstanding effort by Hall inside to get a seal, call for the ball, spin, and get it on the window.
Listen to this place. That won't quiet him down. Blocking foul. Boy, that was close. An electric atmosphere at Charles Koch Arena, and the Blue Jays lead by a tray.
And Ace Schroff with his Sports Center U in-game. Indiana has already knocked off the #1 team in the nation. They beat Kentucky when they were ranked first, facing second-ranked Ohio State. Amir Williams down low. Hoosiers right now trail by 4. That was a Buckeye basket. Let's go back to Wichita and Dave.
Thanks a lot, Anish. Well, here, Creighton, they led by 9, and then Wichita State's really been on a roll. And Carl Hall has been a big part of the resurgence for the Shockers.
He has. Watch how hard he works. He's there defensively, rotating over. There he is inside. And when he posts up, watch how hard he works to get the basketball, make a spin move, get it on the window, and get the basket. Hard work. Perseverance is what has whittled this to a 3-point game.
Now Hall sitting over on the bench right now. And they will bring in Ahime Arupe to take his place. 5 points for Hall so far in this contest. Ragland going to the line.
It's a great basketball game. The Missouri Valley Conference is off to a wonderful start in 2011-12. I mean, you look at some of the numbers about this league, up to 8th in terms of the ranking in RPI. Better results on the road, 15 of 15 in non-conference road games. Last year, 8 and 31. I mean, this league it was one of the greats, and it's back.
Well, you look at it, if Creighton wins tonight, they probably keep a top 25 ranking, despite a loss to Missouri State. If Wichita State wins, the Shockers probably get ranked.
No doubt about it.
A 12-5 run for Wichita State. Rogge, no. Echenike tries to keep it alive. Would have counted had it gone. On the continuation, Cotton will go to the line to shoot 2.
Tempo.
And a chance for Wichita State to have their first lead.
Tempo, as you look at some of the numbers we were talking about with the Missouri Valley, I mean, everything trending in the right direction. You look at strength of schedule. Only 3 teams have beaten 3 Big Ten teams this season. And you look at the names, and Creighton is the only one from this league, but you see Duke on that list. It is really an unbelievably good league.
Doug McDermott checks back in with the game tied at 20-20. And in 2020 hindsight, the Shockers on this run with a chance to have their first lead of the game.
Tempo favoring Wichita State now. Creighton's taking some tougher shots. Wichita State really able to push the tempo and attack the rim off defense.
Greg Marshall's club has come all the way back from a 9-point deficit.
Crowd's into it in a big way. Creighton has to maintain their poise.
Tough to get the ball to McDermott. His spin move, loses the handle, gets it back, no. One and done as Ragland's got the rebound. Cotton trying to go baseline, that's cut off. Boy, tough to get shots in this game.
Both teams have really brought that lunch pail mentality, really working hard at both ends of the court.
Now on the hedge, they get it inside. Arupe can't get it to go. McDermott clears the glass. Now, here comes Young. Three-pointer, good!
Book it. Book it.
Manigault.
It's a team that shoots over 50% from beyond the arc, the Creighton Bluejays. And you watch their shooters, watch how their feet are set, so when the pass comes on an open look, all you do is catch and release because you're already in shooting position.
David, how many people told us before the game, I hope we get a good game? And I kept saying, I don't know how we can't get a good game. Here we go! Ben Smith!
There's another one. Ring it up from beyond the arc. This is a heavyweight fight.
And we're still in the first round. McDermott, counted. Three threes in a row.
Back and forth, shifting tides, ebb and flow.
4 in a row? Yes!
Wow!
Echenike loses his glasses and still gets it to go. That's concentration right there.
That was concentration. He lost the glasses. I think they were draped around his neck. He still found a way to get it on the window and score.
Who's that man in those Foster Grants? It's Gregory Echenike, and it's Creighton back on top by 1. This is fun.
This is absolutely fun.
Ragland, oh, he misses a chip shot. But there's the man of the hour, Carl Hall.
Either somebody went to sleep on the glass or somebody went over the top named Carl Hall. I'd have to see a replay, but the rebound was really good effort.
Ragland picks up his second foul, only the 6th team foul on the Shockers.
Greg McDermott screaming for a foul on the rebound. There's the miss, and he probably got away with a body into Echenike.
Look at those two guys going toe-to-toe here in this, as you described it, David, a heavyweight bout. McDermott trying to get down low. Boy, tough shot there for Young.
Real tough shot.
Hall blocked by Echenike, and then off of Hall. What a defensive play. Well, Capital One Bowl Week concludes Monday afternoon. 4 games, starts at noon Eastern on ESPNU. The Houston Cougars take on Penn State. Then at 1 on ABC, 2 of the nation's top defenses class. It's Michigan State and Georgia in the Outback Bowl. Taylor Martinez and the Huskers take on Steve Spurrier's bruising Gamecocks in the Capital One Bowl. And then it's Ohio State and Florida. Big day of football. And all the ESPN family networks.
Great officiating crew. They will not be intimidated by this raucous, sold-out crowd.
Antoine Young thought he was fouled. It goes off of Williams, so it'll stay with the Blue Jays, but only 5 on the shot clock. Trying to get it inbounds. That was well defended by Kyles.
Greg McDermott trying to signal in a play.
Good rebound again by Williams. Three-pointer. Yes! Ben Smith.
That's 2 in a row for Ben Smith. Nobody rotated out. He got a good open look, and he buried it.
No good from the wing for Maniga. Manigault can't hit from 3-point range, and Wichita State with their biggest lead right now at 4. Williams got inside. What a good dish.
What an outstanding interior pass, but it's all set up not only by his dribble, but watch Hall go right to the basket, ready to catch it. You got to know who you're throwing it to. He knows how to catch and finish.
Timeout, Creighton.
Watch the interior pass and watch Hall catch and finish. Here comes Wichita State in transition. They attack. There's the open 3 for Ben Smith. That's his 2nd straight. Crowd loves it. But the interior pass to Hall, catch, don't put it on the deck. Where a hand can get it, go right up and lay it in.
Absolutely. Boy, in transition, that's where you can really burn teams with that 3. And certainly Wichita State coming back thanks to their 3-point shooting. All of a sudden, they're 4 for 10 in this game.
But it's no coincidence, Dave, that when they started making perimeter shots, it coincided with going inside, because the best way to a good, clean, open look is through the low post. Pull the defenders back and then kick it out.
Wichita State, David, also doing a good job inside, as they're not allowing very many touches for Doug McDermott. McDermott 6 points in this game, and he's earned them. And a foul on the Blue Jays. That one called on Dingman. The Shockers lead by a half dozen.
And Nate Schroff here in the Sports Center U studio. Coming up at halftime, Kansas's Thomas Robinson puts himself in some elite company. Ohio State, Indiana. Can the Hoosiers knock off the #2 team in the nation? And Kentucky wins Bluegrass State bragging rights. Now back to the Roundhouse.
Thanks a lot, Denise. How about that? Louisville now has lost 2 games in a row. They were unbeaten coming into the week. Well, here is Wichita State. They trailed by 9 in this game, and now they're up 6. How have they done it? Well, their shooting percentages are skyrocketing for the Shockers. They started off ice cold in this game. Maybe they were pumped up with all the atmosphere here at Charles Koch Arena. Whatever. All of a sudden, they're hitting everything in sight.
They're making shots, but the other thing, Dave, that they're doing, they're rebounding. We had run some numbers earlier where they were being out-rebounded by 6. They've drawn even on the glass now. It's 17 rebounds apiece. So they are definitely getting back to Wichita State basketball.
Starting to go to the line, too. They're 10 of 14 from the stripe. The Blue Jays 6 of 8. This is David Kiles, a senior out of Dallas. What a turnaround for Wichita State.
This crowd is ready. They came ready for this ball game. There's sometimes you walk in the arena and you know there's a game, and there's sometimes you know there's a game. That's tonight.
From 9 down to 9 up.
Doing it through defense. Defense is what has gotten them to this point.
Let's see if Creighton works to get that ball to Doug McDermott. He's working hard to get position, and there comes the double and triple team, and he loses the handle.
That's the 4th time they've tried to feed the post to him and have not been able to complete it.
He seems like he's still scrambling to get set when the ball is coming to him.
Because he doesn't know where the extra defender's coming from. They run one guy, they run another, they dig a guy down. They've done a real good job mixing up their doubling inside.
Three-pointer off target. And now we've got a whistle and a foul fighting for that rebound. This one's called on Arupe. Well, Monday, January 2nd, tailgate with ESPNU. First at 10 a.m., game day from the Rose Bowl, then at 11. Tune into the Whip for the latest bowl news. And then at noon, Penn State takes on the Houston Cougars. That's Monday, January 2nd. It's all only right here on ESPNU. 1-and-1 opportunity. The Blue Jays finally in the bonus at the 2:02 mark of the first half, and going to the line will be Maniga.
Maniga at the line shooting 1-and-1.
He's an 86% free throw shooter, so they got the right guy at the line.
Creighton's freshmen had a huge advantage this year. They took a trip to the Bahamas in August.
Yeah.
As part of the trip, the NCAA allowed 10 practice days. All their freshmen enrolled in summer school so they could participate in the trip and the practice days. So when October 15th came around and all the other freshmen in the country are struggling to get acclimated, it was old hat for these guys.
Seemed like everybody was taking trips this summer.
Well, there are a lot of teams making moves. You can go once every 4 years by NCAA rule.
Murray slices and dices his way, and it's an 11-point advantage. 12 straight points for the Shockers.
Big, big trip. They've got to get some offense. Right now, everything is too much standing.
McDermott knew that was off, tried to get the rebound, but there's Hall again. Ooh, pass that almost went out of bounds. Good save by Kiles.
Hall wants the ball in the post.
He gets it. The dish outside, no. Long rebound. Hall fighting for it. Look at that hustle.
Greg Marshall calling a play. What's a high screen roll with Hall? He wants to come out and get that basketball inside.
Murray doing a little one-on-one. Shot clock down to 10. Williams. Putting it up right as the shot clock expires. That didn't hit the rim, so it's a shot clock violation.
You know what? They were into their offense, and then they stopped. They looked at the coach so they could get a play, and they just never got it set. You could tell Greg Marshall was, guys, run this, and nobody seemed to be on the same page. And it ended up in a shot clock violation.
Look at the cold spell for the Blue Jays. Going for the last shot of the half. They get it and one. Antoine Young.
What an outstanding finish. Everyone watched McDermott, who came up the side of the lane, looked for the ball on a screen roll, and instead, Young finished at the rim. Watch McDermott come up. There he sets the screen, there he rolls. You see three Shocker defenders trying to make sure they know where McDermott is. And Young said, don't worry about it, I got this one.
So now Young to close out the traditional three-point play. 2 seconds remaining in the half. And that stops a 12-0 run for the Shockers. Timeout here by Wichita State, and the use it or lose it timeout. And Wichita State coming back from a 9-point deficit in large part due to three-point shooting.
Well, there's one right off the baseline inbounds play. Got a real clean look. There's one nobody gets out and gets a hand up. Another clean open look. You watch some of the threes that got them back in the game. There's no hand in their face.
At the 9:17 mark, that big fellow standing in the huddle, Garrett Stutz, went out with his second foul, and you thought, uh-oh, because it was a big deficit for Wichita State at that time. For whatever reason, Wichita State came in with more energy from that point forward, started hitting shots, started moving the ball better.
They defended better, and that allowed them to score off their defense, take Creighton out of their comfort zone. It led to baskets at the other end.
Would have counted had it gone, but it goes up over the backboard, and the first half comes to a close. But a 12-3 run to close the half for Wichita State and give them an 8-point lead. Now let's go to Anish Shroff and Dino Gaudio in the studio.
You've played at the Roundhouse. You know what it's like to play in Wichita. And once the crowd got going, it seemed Creighton just was thrown off its game.
I coached in the ACC for 9 years. Playing at the Coke Arena in Wichita, as tough as any venue in the Atlantic Coast Conference. And Wichita State beat Creighton twice last year, and he held Greg McDermott to 11-7. He only has 6 right now.
And he's taken 6 shots to get there, just 2 of 6 from the field. McDermott is the nation's second leading scorer. Creighton will try to get him going in the second half. Ben Smith had his moments in the first half. Wichita State up by 8.
Time for you to find your seat here at Charles Koch Arena. The second half is about to begin. Wichita State erasing a 9-point deficit in the first half to lead by 8, 39-31. Let's check out some highlights from that first half of action.
Creighton got off to a really good start. He did a nice job finding Doug McDermott inside there on a good flash move along the baseline. Wichita State answered by knocking down 3 three-pointers in a row, 2 for Ben Smith, who really stepped up and hit a couple big shots that got them back cooking.
How about that one flurry, David, where both teams, they hit 4 three-pointers in a row. This place was rocking.
This place was going nuts, and it's going to be that way the second half. For Creighton, they've got to get McDermott more touches, but you can't force it in there. It's led to several turnovers or tip balls that have been a problem for them. They have got to get more out of Echenique than they got in the later part of the first half. He was great early.
6 turnovers for Creighton in that first half, and 3 of them came from McDermott. Echenique misses on the left-handed hook.
He got a good touch. He'll take that. He'll make more than he'll miss in there.
Here's Stutz back in. Remember, he had to go out with 2 fouls at the 9:17 mark of the first half. And then he loses it off his knee out of bounds.
He's trying to make up for lost time, make a move. He was set so much in the first half with 2 fouls.
Sometimes, David, when you see a player who's been sitting for 10 minutes in a game, it's tough for them to get back into the flow.
Right, they're trying to get it going now. They want to get to where everyone else is.
Yep. Good rip move. And a layup. What a nice play by Gibbs.
Really good job by Gibbs, and nobody there normally from Wichita State there as good as you'll find at rotating and helping.
Ragland gets it in. Boy, the big fella using that size misses the layup. It will stay though with the Shockers.
There's some sharpshooters. You look at some of the guys here. Look at the percentages. That means they take really good shots. Even if you're taking threes, if they're open, uncontested, in the flow of the offense, those are good, clean looks. And for a guy like Echenique, we know what he and Hall love to do is score around the rim.
Good defense. And again, missing from underneath. That's Murray. Here comes Young. Boy, he goes coast to coast.
Wow, how did he finish that one? He cut across the lane, turned his body, and got it up and scored the ball. Outstanding finish.
7 straight points now by the Blue Jays. That'll be a foul on Carl Hall.
Offensive foul for lowering his shoulder is what they're going to say.
First team foul of the half on Wichita State.
And that's the second on Hall there for Young. And we were talking about it during the halftime break, David. How important was that three-point play that Young made at the tail end of the first half?
With 2 seconds left, he gets the old-fashioned three-point play, and it really gave Creighton some confidence going into the locker room.
And there he goes again. Oh, unlucky. And now a tie-up. Wasn't that funny? You've got Antoine Young standing there, and there was Garrett Stutz just hanging onto the ball. The arrow will give the ball to Wichita State. Look at this.
There he goes hanging. He just doesn't have enough on it to get it up over the rim.
And there's a slip, but a trip. Josh Jones whistled for the foul.
Got him with the body, with the hip as he came across on that curl move. Got it.
Big three.
Second time off baseline out of bounds in the deep corner. Second time off a good screen to get an open look, and they buried both of them.
First points of the second half for the Shockers. Young being more assertive offensively. Blocked by Hall. McDermott can't get it to go. And a whistle and a foul on Young.
Baseline out of bounds plays. These are what we call manufactured points. There's Stutz with the step out. Nobody comes and helps out because you got 2 big bodies there. Echenique and Stutz. Nobody can get around him. Open look, 3.
And Ragland, who did not have a field goal in the first half. He got his points on the line. He buries his first field goal of the day, that three-pointer. And then turns it over, so Creighton will get it back. Greg Marshall not happy at all. The Shockers just handed it right back to the Blue Jays.
He was more upset that they didn't then get up and really guard full court on the inbound pass. He said, get up here and guard. Turnovers are going to happen, but he wants defensive intensity at all times.
Well, it seems like Young's taking every shot right now for Creighton.
Really trying to attack the rim. Nice job by Hall again inside on the rebound. Got to get more touches for Doug McDermott or get him clean looks from the perimeter.
Quick double on Hall. Three-pointer as they swing the ball. No. Hall with an offensive rebound. That'll be a foul on Echenike and a two-shot opportunity for Hall.
Hall is giving you a tremendous effort inside, whether it's posting with authority, rebounding, keeping plays alive. That is an outstanding effort out of that young man.
Not to mention his defense on McDermott tonight.
Been tremendous. And they've done a really good job in the team defensive concept to really make it tough on Doug McDermott because he's such a great player.
Hall just a 59% free throw shooter. The points have really been difficult for McDermott. The second leading scorer in the nation, averaging almost 25 points a game. McDermott tonight just 6 points so far. For Creighton to come back in this game, they've got to get their star players some more touches. Somehow, you've talked about it, David, it's tough for them to do it, but they got to figure out a way.
Well, then you have to start to move them to the perimeter and see if you can get dribble penetration and kick.
And again, they're really taking advantage of Antoine Young.
Well, a really good coaching move there by Greg McDermott. When you've got Doug at the three-point stripe, the defense is going to know where he's at, and Young attacks the rim.
Murray with a nice little step, but then misses badly. Throws up an air ball. Well, they really close on McDermott. There he is with Hall right on his hip again. Another tie-up. This time it goes to Creighton. And we've got a timeout. 15:50 left to go. This heavyweight bout continuing from Wichita. Well, this game has had it all, really. Had a flurry of offense, some great defense by both teams. And Wichita State right now keeping the Blue Jays at arm's length with a 44-37 lead.
Think back, though, midway through the first half, we talked about rebounding, and it was in Creighton's favor. Right. 27-19 now in favor of Wichita State on the glass. That is why you've seen a 9-point Wichita State deficit go to a 44-37 lead.
Well, early on, as Greg Marshall looks up at that scoreboard, his team was getting out-rebounded, and Echenike was really doing a lot of damage. But Greg Echenike has slowed down a little bit, and guys like Carl Hall and Garrett Stutz and David Kiles, they've been really cleaning that glass.
They've done an unbelievable job inside. And McDermott not being able to score has really taken some of the spirit out of what Creighton does. But again, there's another basket for Creighton trying to attack the rim.
They're attacking it, too, with guys other than McDermott. Pretty savvy with all the focus of the defense on McDermott. Use some other guys. Ragland tries another three. Nope. There's Hall again. Another offensive rebound and a stick back.
He is a warrior, an absolute monster inside. He has really come to play. He may not be the tallest, but he's got the heart of a champion.
Boy, a good move by Gibbs to get out of a possible tie-up.
Tough shot, Grant Gibbs, the Gonzaga transfer. Really solid there.
Hall with 4 offensive rebounds, 10 rebounds overall. And he's in double figures in points as well. A double-double for Carl Hall. Out of bounds, the ball goes. It'll stay with the Shockers. Let's look at Gibbs at the other end.
I mean, you can't argue with the defense here. They are all over him. That's just a step back, make a play shot. That was outstanding effort.
It's almost like in that locker room at halftime, Greg McDermott said, look, Doug's having a rough time getting going because of all the focus on him. You guys have really got to help him out and make some plays. And this time it's McDermott with a rebound. And a miss inside. Stutz and Echenike got tangled up a little bit in the paint.
Echenike, that was a tough shot to complete with Stutz right there.
A three? No. And over the back, Hall. He's whistled for the foul. And that'll be his third.
Decision time, he probably comes out of the game. He does.
And Greg Marshall, knowing that Hall has meant so much here tonight, he's got to take a seat.
Well, at the 14-minute mark exactly, 5-point game, he goes out. Let's see what happens the next 3 or 4 minutes.
Oh, that was a great pass again from Gibbs.
Real nice job. He put it on the deck. He had his dribble, so you had to respect him. You couldn't look at him to pick it up, and then he found Echenike.
Now, if you're Wichita State, you have to make an adjustment defensively and maybe go off of McDermott a little bit?
No, I think you continue doing what you're doing. You just have to work a lot harder, and you got to take care of the basketball. That's a big strip for Creighton. Big.
And now a three. Wow!
Right back in it at 46 all, and McDermott, who's been so silent, got himself a clean look. And when great players, when they get opportunities, they maximize it. He just did.
What a run by the Blue Jays. We're tied at 46, under 13 to go. Each team erasing big deficits. Wichita State trailed by 9. They wound up leading by 11, and here we are tied. Anybody's game. Ragland goes in and is bailed out by a foul on Creighton. And this one's on McDermott.
Creighton fouls on number 3, McDermott.
That's the second on McDermott.
15 fouls and a half on Creighton.
See how he's ready to shoot it? That is a hallmark of what Coach McDermott teaches. And obviously his son, the star pupil. But all of his shooters, you watch a Creighton team, when they get an open look, the shooter's already ready. Catch it, go. Just load it up and go. You don't have to get your feet set, get your elbow in. They're ready to shoot the basketball.
See the best shooter for Creighton since Korver?
He's got to be right there with him. Korver's in another world.
No question. You know, look at Doug McDermott comes out. He's 2 for 2 from three-point land so far tonight. He was 56% from beyond the arc coming into the game. And it's not like he hardly ever takes them. He's taken 50 this year.
He is a legitimate threat from the stripe.
Absolutely. Ragland gets the free throws. 1-point advantage for Wichita State. And a travel by Jones.
Greg McDermott says, go get the basketball.
Smith with a three. Nope. Stutz keeps it alive. Now Ragland for three. Stutz again trying to keep it alive. Another tie-up.
Well, I don't know. If you watch that, I think he had him hooked on the arm.
And that's what they've called. A foul on Gibbs, his third.
We had an official call the jump, but watch the ball carry him off the rim. There's all the contact. Now, when you see the ball get tied up, right there, he's got him hooked on the arm. That is not a jump.
I don't know about that.
Travel.
And then a travel. Greg Marshall just really
exasperated.
Right. Let's go the other way then. Fine. 12 minutes remaining. It's like a zone now for the Shockers. So that's the adjustment they've made. And that frees up a 3 for Jones, who can't hit.
Talking with Greg today, Greg Marshall, he said we're going to change up a little bit, but he's a man-to-man guy.
Well, they both are. Stutz tries another 3. He's 2 for 8 coming into this game. Not sure you want your 7-footer out shooting threes.
No, but if you give him that freedom when he gets that look, he's going to take it. Man-to-man defense out of Wichita State.
That extra pass. Boy, that was a good play by Gibbs again to free Jones in the corner.
Gibbs is such an astute basketball player. The savvy that he plays with, got the kick to the left corner, and it led to the triple.
And all of a sudden, the Shockers have gone ice cold. More than 4 minutes without a field goal. Gibbs, did he step on the baseline? He did. Another turnover for Creighton. And we've got a timeout. But Gibbs has helped the resurgent Blue Jays back to a 2-point advantage. An 8-1 run for Creighton since Carl Hall went out with his 3rd foul. And right now it's a 49-47 lead for the Blue Jays. With David Kaplan, I'm Dave Armstrong, and you can follow us on Twitter. My handle is @DaveArmstrong12, @DaveArmstrong12, and you can follow our tweets all season long. And one of the questions we'd like to throw out there here on this New Year's Eve, if your favorite college team had a 2012 New Year's resolution, what would it be? So go to that, www.twitter.com/ESPNU, and give us your answer.
Yeah, we had some New Year's resolutions for these two teams, and I think we looked at the 14-minute mark, and if there was a New Year's resolution at that point, it was take advantage of Carl Hall going to the bench. Creighton's done just that.
Boy, they certainly have. I mean, both these teams have shown such great resiliency to come back from big deficits in this contest.
Yeah, you had 9 early, Creighton up by 9. Wichita State goes up 11, and now they look up and they trail by 2, and they've got the basketball.
When do you think about bringing Hall back in if you're Greg Marshall?
Well, I probably would leave him sit there till the 8-minute mark and see where I'm at. Now, if you look up and you're 7-8 down, you probably move quicker. But I would let him, I try and milk it for as much as I can, because I also know I've got to get him a rest at some point, so why not do it now?
A floater in the lane by Williams.
Tough shot by Williams. I mean, on the move, across his body, and flip it up soft and get it done.
And Hall on the bench had a reaction like, did I just see that? Wow. Look at the position inside. Oh, but Echenike can't hit it. Look at those big fellas really fighting for position down there on the block.
Stutz and Echenike are really trying to establish their force inside.
Counts! Antoine Young, and the foul is on Stutz.
Now, there's a rule called the principle of verticality. That is what Greg Marshall is furious about. That rule says you, the defender, own the space you're standing in straight up all the way to the heavens.
Yeah, but his arm was down.
I completely agree with you. When Greg watches the tape, he'll say, Coach McDermott, I guess you got the right call there, because he did impede into the offensive man's space.
Well, this answers our previous question about when do you bring Hall back in. With Stutz going out with 3 fouls, they bring Hall back in, who has 3 fouls.
Well, if you're going to play one with 3, you play the guy who's playing better, and that would be Hall.
You know, right now, Greg Marshall's going to have to manage the foul situation for his Shocker big men. And checking back in for the Blue Jays will be Doug McDermott. Look at this run by Creighton. What an adjustment that Greg McDermott made in that locker room at halftime. Kyles, that's a tough 3-pointer.
See, this is what we saw early from Wichita State in the game, settling for some quick perimeter shots rather than scoring through their defense and attacking the rim inside.
McDermott begging for that ball. Now with a double team coming, he dishes it back out, resets. tough shot off the glass. He forced that one a little bit.
Yeah, that was not a good decision on a refeed of the post.
What a move by Kyle, slicing and dicing his way inside.
And that led to an easy basket at the other end. If you're going to go into the post, you got to have a good shot or kick it back out.
Listen to this place. And Gibbs quiets the crowd.
Wide open look as the defenders either have to look for McDermott, they pick up the dribbler, and Gibbs is spotted up.
The Blue Jays are 7 of 12 from three-point range in this game. Ooh, lucky to get it back, the Shockers. Williams lost the handle. Hall. Whoa. A lot of contact, nothing called. And the rebound comes down to Jones.
Echenike may have caught the head of Carl Hall in the face, but no call.
That even sounds painful.
It does. Two big guys going at it inside there.
Cross-court pass. Now it's Smith trying to keep McDermott out of the paint.
Smith doing a really good job because McDermott wants the basketball.
Shot clock at 4. Long three. Nope. And there's another rebound for Hall. That's 11. Well, look at this drought now for the Shockers. Three-pointer, no. And there's McDermott with another rebound.
But you notice Wichita State isn't scoring off their defense, and they're not getting some of those baskets inside they were getting when they made their run. Another big basket for Creighton. Another huge, huge basket.
Great ball fake by Josh Jones to get himself free. And now it's Creighton in command, leading by a half dozen.
Today's Schroff with his Sports Center U in-game. Close game in Bloomington. How about this, though? Ohio State's Aaron Kraft to Sam Thompson for the flush. Buckeyes up by 1. Indiana trying to knock off the #1 and #2 team in the nation. Beat Kentucky earlier this year when they were 1.
Well, how about that? Thanks, Anish. And here it's Creighton. They trailed by 11 in this game in the first half. They've come back now and have a 57-51 lead. What a comeback by the Blue Jays.
But since that 14-minute mark, we talked about it, a 16-5 Creighton run.
Triple header tomorrow. Villanova-Marquette starts the day at 1 Eastern. Then North Carolina and Monmouth. And Penn and Duke rounded out at 5 o'clock Eastern right here on ESPNU.
Paul went to the bench with his 3rd foul. He had been an absolute dominator inside as he talked with one of the officials. And you and I talked about, let's see what happens over the next few minutes. 16-5 Creighton run, fueled by a couple really good looks from 3 and a really good job, 1 and done for Wichita
It's
State.
been guys like Antoine Young and Grant Gibbs that have really helped lead the charge for Creighton.
Wichita State has got to attack more offensively. Cannot settle for perimeter shots.
Murray, well, he was cut off. Reverses the ball. Ragland gives it up. Shot clock at 3. Excellent defense by the Blue Jays.
Tremendous. See, the one thing we talked all night about the balance of the Wichita State team, that they've got so many guys that score in double figures. When you get into a situation like this in a really intense conference game, you don't have the one primetime guy that you go, I can go to him for a basket.
Boy, that's a heat check. And Josh Jones just buries another 3.
Again, no one gets a hand up on the shot. That will drive Greg Marshall crazy. Again, Creighton, a great shooting team, and when they get their opportunity, they answer.
There's Hall. Boy, good move by Hall on the baseline.
That was one-on-one. It was Hall and Echenike, and advantage Hall that time.
5 minutes to decide it.
What a ball game.
McDermott cut off. Echenike tried to go right back at Hall, and then a whistle and a foul going for the rebound. So we've got a timeout with 4:49 remaining in the contest, and the Blue Jays up by 7. ESPNU's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by State Farm. For auto, home, life, and banking, get to a better state. Here's Creighton. They were down 11 in that first half, down 8 at the half, and now they're up 7. Well, Monday on ESPNU, full day of college football. It starts at 10 Eastern. College Game Day, built by the Home Depot, live from the Rose Bowl, presented by Vizio. Then at 11, get updates from all the day's bowl games on college football whip around. Then at noon, how about this? The Ticket City Bowl. It's the Houston Cougars taking on the Nittany Lions of Penn State. College football lives on the U. And we wish you a happy new year for 2012.
Great way to start your night off here in Wichita. Come to the game. This place is rocking.
David, the ebbs and flows of this game have been amazing.
On January 27th, it is Jam to Jim.
You look at Carl Hall, what he meant to the Shockers. And when they got this 11-point lead, Hall was right in the middle of all of it.
He was outstanding offensively, tremendous on the glass, double-figure rebounds. But I thought it was his energy inside that really fueled Wichita State at the defensive end of the floor. They've got to get back to that level now. When he went out at the 14-minute mark, they were up 46-41. They trail 60-53.
First career double-double. Hall 4 points away from a new career high. He's got the ball now. They clear out for him. And there's Hall again, doing the work on the glass.
The dirty work, it takes just hard-nosed, tough effort, and that's what he gives you.
A real Hall pass for the Shockers tonight.
Doug McDermott's going to try and see if he can be spotted up at the 3 off dribble penetration.
A whistle and a foul here on Ragland. It's only the 4th team foul on the Shockers.
Creighton's going to spread the court and try and get a look for Doug McDermott or dribble from Young. Watch Hall inside. That is just outworking somebody. Nobody puts a body on him. You've got to box him off. Gibbs didn't do a good job at that.
You see Wichita State's already in the bonus, and the Shockers have only committed 4 team fouls. And again, going inside is Young, and a good offensive rebound by Echenike. And they reset the shot clock. I'm not sure they should have.
It did not touch the rim.
So they'll have to go back and figure out how much time should remain on the shot clock. They reset it after Antoine Young took that attempt at the basket, but he didn't touch the rim. While they sort it out, we'll send you to break.
Anae Schroff with the Sports Center, you in-game. We got a good one over on ESPN2. Indiana and Ohio State. Jordan Hulls, fearless. It helps that he gets the Bloomington bounce. The Hoosiers up by 2, trying to knock off number 2 Ohio State. Kentucky, who Indiana already beat, knocked off Louisville earlier in a in-state rivalry game, 69-62. Hey, we got a good one in Wichita as well.
Yeah, Anish, a great way to end the year with all this exciting hard-court action. Creighton here leading by 5 with 3:40 remaining.
The officials are checking to see if the ball hit the rim, and they are using what's called the game plan system. Only this league, the Missouri Valley and the American Sun, use it. And they use the game plan system, which gives them multiple looks at a replay to determine several different things. NCAA rules allow the officials to use instant replay when a monitor is present to determine if a field goal is worth 2 or 3, who is the correct free throw shooter, whether a fight occurred, who participated or left the bench. They can also use it in timing situations like this.
I thought on that shot, now looking at it again, the first time I looked at it, I didn't think Young caught any part of the rim. That time I thought he did. When the ball came back off the glass, I think it touched the rim on the way out. If not, there'll be 17 seconds on the shot clock. They're still looking at it. They're taking a good, long, hard look at it. Mark Whitehead came over and said there might be a timing error here, and that's what they're looking at over on the monitor.
And again, the only 2 leagues in the country that are using the game plan system, other leagues are watching to see how it ends up being received, is the Missouri Valley and the Atlantic Sun. It's a very expensive system, but it's a system that helps to eliminate errors.
Absolutely, on 3-point shots, on who's coming off a bench, and maybe a brawl on a situation just like this. Hey, well, Monday, January 2nd, tailgate with ESPNU. First at 10, it's game day from the Rose Bowl. Then at 11 a.m. Eastern, tune into the Whip for the latest bowl news. And then at noon, it's Penn State taking on the Houston Cougars. That's Monday, January 2nd. You can only see it on ESPNU.
Beauty of technology.
So they're going to put 13 seconds on the shot clock after they took a good, long, hard look at it. Now watch. I think it goes off the glass and then touches rim. You see that?
I don't. It never changed direction.
Okay.
I'm going to say it didn't.
All right, well, that's what they said, so I'll live with that. And there's still 13 on the shot clock. Here's Young. He's really helped lead this second half resurgence by the Blue Jays. There he goes again. Blocked out of bounds. 4 on the shot clock.
Nice job by the interior of the Wichita State defense. Young has been killing them all day, driving to the rim and getting opportunities at the backboard. Real good job by Wichita State. More depth to their defense.
Well, you can see Greg McDermott really values this possession. He's called a timeout with 4 on the shot clock to make sure they run the right play.
You're going to try and see if they could spread it out. You got plenty of time to drive, kick, and get an open look. Here's the drive again by Young, but look at Hall with 3 fouls. Does a really good job not committing a personal foul there, but intimidating the shot and forcing the ball out of bounds. Really good job by Carl Hall. Tip your cap to Creighton to hang in this thing after blowing an early 9-point lead. Then to look up and be down 11 in this type of mayhem. The blackout here tonight, it's sold out, it's raucous, it's intense, it's electric, and that man has kept his team focused. Tip your cap to Greg McDermott.
No question. They look into McDermott, and what poise. He just counted down the seconds in his head and dug McDermott with a huge bucket for the Blue Jays.
Great players make great plays. That's a man's play, stepping up with the game on the line.
He never rushed it.
Never.
A foul, this one called on Echenike.
Watch Doug McDermott. They run a man to the corner on the inbound. Not open. Now there's the toss over the top to McDermott. He's got a variety of moves. Look at that move. The baby hook off the window.
I'll bet you if you asked him after the game, David, when you caught that ball, were you ticking down the seconds in your head? I'll bet you he would tell you he was going 4, 3, 2. He knew how much time was on that clock, and
Absolutely.
he didn't have to rush it.
And great players seem to have that internal clock where they know when they've got time to make the move.
Joe Ragland trying to shake off the effects of a collision. He'll go to the line. He's 4 of 6 from the line here tonight. Obviously, every free throw from this point forward, important for both teams.
Back in Wichita State.
In and out, no good. And there is Grant Gibbs. You know, he has been that lunch bucket, that blue-collar guy, although here, his pass a little bit too low, and he and Young miscue.
He says, my fault. He knew it.
Yeah, it's a rare turnover for Gibbs because he's so good with the ball. He values it so much. And all 9 of his points in this game coming in the second half.
At this point, every possession so scrutinized, you have to know exactly where you're throwing that ball.
What's at stake? Creighton started 0-1 with a home loss to Missouri State. Wichita State trying to go to 2-0 and really create some space in the Missouri Valley early on. Creighton picked by everyone to win the league this year, and Wichita State right behind.
Not a good decision on the shot. That one will drive Greg Marshall crazy. Too quick, settling. Get something out of the flow of the offense.
Creighton can afford to be patient here, work some clock, and they do. Doug McDermott backing in, looking at the double team. That extra pass again in the corner, but an air ball thrown up by Jones. Ragland. No foul call. There was contact, but a no call.
Well, I think he may have been in the foul arc or very close to it. Good no call by the officials.
Under 2 to go.
Screen roll with Echenike. Hall does a good job recognizing it.
And that'll be a foul. This one called on Ragland. Still only the 5th team foul, though, on the Shockers. This is almost working against them right now.
Well, at some point here in the next 45 or 50 seconds, they're going to need to commit some fouls to get Creighton to the line.
That's right. Because it resets the shot clock. Didn't need something that quick, but Jones was at point-blank range and missed. And a blocking foul, this one against Gibbs.
Correct call, official right there on top of it.
18 foul to have on Creighton.
Wichita State in the bonus. That's the 4th foul on Gibbs, but this is a 2-shot violation. This will not be 1-1. Got him in the act of shooting. So Murray at the line, a 75% free throw shooter. 1:31 remaining.
Almost every time these two teams play, it is a 1 or 2 possession game. And we were not thinking anything other when we came in here tonight than this thing would go down to the wire.
A miss on the second one. Still a 1 possession game, but it's a 3-point contest.
Gibbs has to be really careful using that off arm.
He has the advantage of the height, though. He can throw it up over the trap.
Pass over the top.
Crowd doesn't like this call. Foul on Wichita State.
16 foul to have on Wichita State.
Shockers using an 8-2 run over the last 4 minutes to get back within 3. And this is a 2-shot opportunity for Antoine Young, and the 6th team foul on the Shockers. Way short, an air ball, oh my.
It's a good free throw shooter. He got no legs into that shot.
Shot it too quick. Taking his time with this one. And that makes it a 2-possession game with 1:07 remaining. Ragland waits to buy some time.
Left in regulation.
Three-pointer, no. Look at McDermott go for the rebound.
Big rebound by McDermott.
That was a man's rebound there. And a whistle and a foul on the Shockers. This will put Creighton at the line and a 1-and-1.
You know, I know Doug McDermott only has 11 and he averages 25, but he has made a few plays down the stretch, either scoring inside, getting a rebound. He's really stepped up with the game on the line.
I love that kid. What a player. What a player. And Antoine Young, who airballed a free throw just moments ago, just buries the front end of a 1-and-1. Yes, that counts.
Big.
So Greg McDermott's Blue Jays trying to win a huge game on the road at Wichita State, a place where the Shockers have not lost this year. Charles Koch Arena. Wichita State coming in 7-0 at home.
Any team that can come in here and win is a team that deserves a ton of respect nationally, because this is a great Wichita State team and one of the best environments I've been in a long time.
8 of the last 13 games between these two teams have been decided in the closing seconds. Should this one be any different? Ragland goes in uncontested.
Plenty of time. 45 seconds is an eternity.
Well, we look at major moments in a game brought to you by ESPNU. And here's one at the 14-minute mark, David.
Carl Hall picks up the foul right there. Real ticky-tack, legitimate call, but boy, you hate to get fouls when you really don't need to take one right there. He took a seat. It was 46-41. Wichita State at that moment. He goes out of the ball game, and everything turned, and you see where we sit now, 65-61 Wichita State. He was such a huge energy guy inside, and even since he's come back at the 9:20 mark, they haven't had that same defensive burst of energy that they had prior to him going onto the bench.
Now, I know there's still a lot of time, and Wichita State certainly doesn't have to start shooting threes. But when they do, they've got to erase in their minds the fact that they're 1 for 12 from three-point range this half.
Here's the steadying influence of having a guy like Gibbs, and instead, it gets turned over.
Murray with the steal. Three-pointer, no, for Smith. Fight for the rebound, and Gibbs goes in strong.
I think, let's see who they're going to get this foul on. I think it's Kyle's, I believe.
Back on number 22, Carl Hall.
Nope.
No, it's on Hall, and that's his fourth.
There were bodies all over the place going after that loose ball.
Well, you can't say enough about Greg McDermott and the adjustments they made in that locker room. They came out, you could see in the first half they were struggling so hard to get the ball to Doug McDermott, and he just decided, all right, we're going to have Antoine Young roll to the hole. We're going to have Grant Gibbs go in. He's got all 9 of his points in the second half. We're going to use other guys, and we're going to almost use Doug as a decoy.
Well, but when the game was really hanging in the balance on a baseline out-of-bounds play with 4 seconds left, Greg McDermott took a timeout. Who did the ball go to? Doug, who scored inside.
Absolutely. Yeah, that 4 seconds on that shot clock, and he was able to score. And also that big three that McDermott hit from the corner. And here's Gibbs, a 79% free throw shooter, and he buries them both. 2 huge free throws for the Blue Jays. Time running out on the Shockers. And they throw it away.
That's, again, when you don't have one primetime scorer that you're looking to, you don't know which guy is going to step up and make the shot.
Where Ragland, the senior guard, who rarely turns it over. He's 2-to-1 assist-to-turnover ratio. But here, Greg Marshall's team, they had a 11-point lead in this game, totally erased in this contest, and now under 15 seconds to go. And one of the best